You had an amazing month last month, and now you are struggling to try to meet payroll. What happened? How can this happen? It doesn't make any sense, right? You look on your P&L, let's say you made $200,000 last month, and now payroll is an absolute poo storm, to say the least. So here's what happened. Your cash flow. Your cash flow is struggling. It's on the struggle bus. So in this video, I want to go over a couple things. Number one, what is a cash flow statement? How to read it. Number two, what it tells you about the health of your business. And then number three, how to tell if it's working for you or against you. So real quick, what is a statement of cash flow? Or you might hear it as cash flow statement or statement of cash flow. It's all the same thing. It's the same document. So it is a snapshot of time, and it is basically showing you the movement of money throughout your business and kind of what I'm going to say big bucket items that goes into, and you'll see that later on our screen share. But it's just going to kind of show you how the cash moved through your business. It's not going to tell you how much you made necessarily. If we go into the deep dive on it, I can kind of show you how you get to that point. But it's going to just kind of show you how the money moved through your business. There are three main sections to a cash flow statement. Your operating activities, your investing activities, and your financing activities. Ideally, you want your cash flow to come from your operating activities. Then you want it to come from your investing activities, which means you're investing into your company with the hopes to grow your company. And then lastly, your financing activities. With financing activities, we'll get into that a little bit more in the video. It's not ever bad because everybody at some point in their business needs to borrow money to make more money. It's just not getting stuck in that cycle of borrowing money. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to screen share and kind of show you how to read a cash flow statement. All right, let's go.
Okay, so here we are. I am pulling up a QuickBooks report, a cash flow statement or statement of cash flow, same thing. This is in a sample company out of QuickBooks. So when you pull it up, or if your accountant or bookkeeper gives you one, it'll look very overwhelming to say the least. So what I suggest is I would either tell them, or if you're pulling it yourself, is just roll it up. Because right now I just want to start with the basics. Maybe at some point we can get into this a little more, but let's just roll this up to where what we're mainly looking at. So inside a cash flow statement, there are three main activities in your business: operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. So you'll see these right here. So operating activities, that is anything that happened as far as operating your business, just the day-to-day operations. So it will have your income coming in, and then it will have any day-to-day operations. So that it could be your cost of goods or your cost of service, your rent, your insurance, health insurance, payroll, all of that should be in operating activities. So this is going to show you kind of how much cash was generated from that. Investing activities is basically anything you're investing into your business. So if you go let's say you got to purchase a truck, or you need to purchase another piece of equipment, or you're moving into a new place and there's build out costs, that could be investing activities. So the hope is that you're investing into your business to grow your business. So that's going to be where cash comes in or out of on your business. And then financing activities, that is basically anything you're using for a loan to supplement cash. So if you got an SBA loan, if you're paying down the loan on your car payment, or if you got an SBA loan, those would both fall in that same bucket. Basically, it's just the money that came in or out regarding any type of loan. So if I had to rank these in terms of where should the highest dollar value be and where should it be the least amount, I would go right in order. Ideally, you want your biggest chunk of cash to come from your operating activities. That means you're able to completely sustain your business and you've got a little bit of cash within that time period afterwards. Investing activities, I don't think there's any right or wrong with investing, because the goal is to invest in your business and grow. So this right here means they took $13,000 out of cash, went out the door because they were investing into something. If we scroll this down, which I'm not going to do, I want to keep it simple, it would probably show us what area that investment went to. And then financing activities, there's no right or wrong, but if I had to choose out of the three, that would be the least one. You don't want to have to continue to rely on loans on your financing activities. Ideally, you want to be able to self-sustain through your operating. So if I had to rank this cash flow statement, I would give it, I don't know, I'd give it like a C. It's not bad. It's not great. What would give this a total A plus is if this 15,662 was up here in operating and the 1,800 was down here in financing. That would be a stellar cash flow statement, but it's not bad. You still have cash coming in, but my concern would be the bulk of the cash is coming from financing activities. So ideally, there's always a point in time in a business where you're going to need financing in order to grow. It's just, are you going to be able to grow and get past that financing to where you are now getting the bulkier change in your operating? So some red flags, if you were to look at a cash flow statement, would be if kind of what I just said, if a lot of the money was coming from financing, if this was a continual issue, I would call that a red flag. For example, let's just pull this. Let me pull this by the month. And when we do this, we can start to see trends. Let's see, this is interesting. Come on, QuickBooks. All right, maybe QuickBooks doesn't want to do that. All right, here we go. So again, I'm gonna roll this just for simplicity. While I've got this unrolled, you can see where this was an investment for a truck. So maybe they paid cash for a truck, or maybe they did a down payment on a really nice truck. Okay, so this is kind of a good way to kind of see the swings in cash. So another red flag is the swings. There's always going to be swings, but how big are those swings and how often are those swings? Opera looks like there's some decent swings going on. Not too bad. I've seen a lot worse, but the idea is to keep it really steady. Investing, I think, is fine, and financing looks okay. I think my concern is we got some financing here, and then we had to do it in May. So a red flag would be, another 3 months from now, are we doing this again? The point of financing is to get caught up. I mean, ideally, you'd want to, let's just say, in a perfect world, take $5,000 in financing, have already paid that off in 6 months. That would be ideal. So if you are trending towards the bulk of the cash coming from financing activities, that would be a big red flag you want to look at. You want to go back and you want to reevaluate your pricing, reevaluate your expenses, and really figure out, okay, how can we get cash in from right here? How can we be self-sustaining and get this operating cash up? All right, so I hope that helps. I might make another video where we can kind of deep dive into this, but I know when a lot of people look at this, it's overwhelming, and yours may be even more chopped up than that. You may have even more categories than that. But I think if you're just kind of dipping your toes into a cash flow statement, roll this up, get comfortable with just this, and then maybe unroll one at a time and start asking your bookkeeper and accountant, what exactly did this come from? All right, hope this helps.